Hello Cancer, welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. I'm lucky and happy to have you guys here as always. For the new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. The likes, those of you who have stuck around, just everybody for all that you do for the channel and all the ways you support it. Thank you very, very much. So Cancer, I did a series, or this is the series of the mind, body, and spirit messages from your higher self of what it is that you need to know at this time. Three focus areas being the mind, the body, the spirit, the soul, however you want to word that for you. And this will be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus cross watcher. If that's you, welcome to the channel as well. Guys, discern the messages accordingly. I'm not going to go much further than that with spiel. We're going to get right into it. I will say, Cancer, and I've said it in all the videos, if you hear me sniffling, snuffling, my allergies went goofy this week, my immune system went goofy this week, so I'm just trying to get cleared up here. In regards to the mind, healing, I think that there's a lot of things from the past, Cancer, and this is coming in pretty clear right now. It's almost like you're trying to wipe away, trying to work out the mental confusion, Spirit is saying, surrounding the past for you at this time. It's almost like a deep healing, like a mental cleanse that will help clear up the emotional areas of your life as well. Spirit's asking you to keep your heart and your mind open to things as they progress and change through. And, you know, this card of checking in was sticking out there. Checking in with yourself to make sure that your thoughts are staying on the positive side of things rather than anything that is drama-filled, tiresome, exhausting, anything that's creating additional mental confusion that has to do with the past. It's almost like a reprogramming of the brain, reprogramming the way that you think about things, the way you see things from your third eye perspective as well. I feel like you guys may have a lot of transformational energies surrounding you right now, and Spirit's asking you to allow those transformations to take place in regards to the way you view things, the way you think about things. It's almost like it could have been like a triggered something that happened at some point there where you got taught how to think about things in a certain level or a certain way. A lot of the times I too feel like it even would almost manifest as like sickness or illness too sometimes. So and it would tend to linger. Whatever this is tending to linger from time to time. So it's kind of like checking in on your thought process, the way you're doing things. Side note to that, presence, break free, and protect popped out. I do, Spirit is saying that this goes back to the mind space as well. I do think that you're being much more clear about your thoughts when they're coming in. If they're invasive kind of thoughts, I think that you are recognizing what they are, why they're coming in, and I do think that you're working to kind of protect yourself from your own antagonizing thoughts at this time as well. So anything that is creating self-struggle, self-confidence issues, like you're becoming more aware of what those, I don't want to call them triggers, but like they're almost like flashes. They come in, they give you just enough to make you feel a little off-kiltered, and then you're like, shit, why am I even going there right now? So it kind of feels that way. I hope that makes sense. So when it comes to the body, space, spirit, fresh start. You know, the first thing I heard from Spirit is when it comes to love, you may feel like nothing new is happening. Part of that has to do with how the mind is almost trying to play tricks on what new beginnings look like to you. And I say that, pay attention sits on the bottom of the deck. Pay attention and protect again. You may not be super open to allowing people into your 3D world. The body is that of the 3D world, right? Or we are in that physical body having this experience. So, you know, you've got the human aspect of the mind, you've got the human experience of the body here in the 3D plane, and then you've got the spiritual aspect of the self and the soul. And Cancer, for you guys right now, it's like you're not quite fully open to a new start, a new process, because of the past triggers, the past trauma, the past hurt that is still requiring you to transform that pain that's attached to that and those experiences. So it's kind of like your emotions they're going to follow after the thoughts start to clear up, because then there's room for those emotions to come through. Look at this hair, oh my God. It will come through in due time, okay? So with that, let's see, in regards to spirit, coming out sideways, asking for help. If you are having a hard time trusting and believing that the new start for you is coming, or how it could ever play out, Spirit is asking you to ask for that help. I do think that there are times when you guys are at a point where you do kind of reach out. I don't feel like you're really saying a whole lot, but I do feel like the intention is being set within to a point. But then as soon as you create that space, you're like, nah, never mind, I got this myself, I'll be fine. I'm good. Famous last words before shit gets all wonky, I'm fine. That's how that feels to me. But you also have to believe, and I don't think that you guys doubt that there is a greater power, if you will, above you, supporting you, guiding you. But it's like, I think that the test of faith that you've had in the past takes you back to this, like, I'm too busy to sit still, and yes, I know. It's kind of like a rushing energy of I'm aware, but I have to do X, Y, and Z, because it's like you're trying to keep your thoughts moving, you're trying to keep yourself distracted so that you don't have to deal with this healing work so much. But I do think that you're doing it, but very much at your own pace. But Spirit's asking you to open up to assistance for that, and do not be afraid, like, to speak to a therapist, a counselor, somebody who's going to help you get clear on how it is you have, or how it is you need to move through this at this time. Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, and you're the healing. 9 of Cups. Healing, again, 4 of Swords, there you go, that rest and rejuvenation, that time out, that pause, that clarity that comes in when you give yourself the downtime that you need. That Mother of Wands in this particular deck reminds me very much of a protection kind of energy, and I think that you are trying to protect your thoughts, trying to even protect yourself from your thoughts sometimes and where it's going. I do think there's a bit of a laser focus on what it is that does bring you happiness and wish fulfillment, but it's almost like you almost have a sideways view of looking at this when it comes to the way you interact with others on a mental capacity. You could feel cold, detached. Your determination and your willpower could kind of waver sometimes, is how this feels to me. But it's like you feel better when you're working from trying to work from a clear headspace. And I do think that with every little bit of transformation that you're doing, the clearer you are getting about it, part of it is causing an indecision of inaction. Focus being on your foundational energy. I think you recognize how the mental aspects have worked on creating an idea of lack for you in your world. There's that 9 of Cups, wanting to get to your full, total happiness and fulfillment. Understand, Cancer, that your thoughts alone do not create the long-term happiness that it is that you're striving for, because it's still that you're still suffering a loss somehow when it comes to your foundational energy. There's still something surrounding that where there should be cause for celebration, unity, stronger, stable foundations. There's still some kind of loss that's being brought back to the surface by the way of thoughts, by the way of thinking, by the way of maybe even reminiscing. Spirit is giving me as well. 2 of Swords. I just heard, will this ever change? Yes, it will. Yes. I mean, it's a matter of when, but I also feel like if you guys are dealing with any kind of PTSD, or CPTSD too, it's like you may feel like those thoughts sometimes, even when you're in a clear space, tend to kind of chase you down, come after you, come in to remind you. You could see things or people that are reminding you of past hurts and heartaches, and that could tend to leave you feeling in this lack and this indecisive energy of how it is that I move on from this. This fresh start coming out sideways, the Tower. Spirit just said don't have any expectations to how this new start looks for you, because let's see, the Tower, the five of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the 6 of Swords, the 8 of Swords, the Fool. Cancer, I feel like for some of you, when it comes to your 3D, the body, right? First off, stop burning the candles, or the candle at both ends. That seems to be an internal issue where it's like you get angry, you get pissed off. That's what gets you started. That's what gets you determined again. And then somewhere in the midst of that, you get tired of being in that angry, pissed off sense. Kind of want to coil up and go back and retreat and leave that feeling behind. You want to move on to something calmer. You may have been running on adrenaline for so long from certain situations that it's almost like you have to have that adrenaline high. You have to have that adrenaline push to make you feel comfortable enough to take the leap, to go forward somehow. And I think Spirit is asking you to understand that your willpower alone without anger is enough to keep you moving forward. But I think that might be creating a lot of like false starts, we'll call them, in where it is you're going, what it is you're trying to do when it comes to healing, memories, thought processes, patterns, habits, experiences that keep kind of popping up in the back of your mind. What is this fresh start for Cancer? Please, Spirit, clarify. The Knight of Swords, Chase, it's like a haunting kind of energy that it keeps coming back around, that it's like, oh, it's like you can't get away from me. You can't get away from me. And that's really how it feels. You could be, there you are, Queen of Cups. You can't get away from me. You could also feel like someone is keeping eyes or tabs on you at this time as well, and you've got the King of Cups. I will say, even though this would count as a divine partnership, Cancer, I feel like this is like somebody coming in as a guide for you. This is somebody who has an emotional understanding of where it is that you've been and where it is that you're going, who wants to be a space of protection and emotional understanding for you as well. But you're very protective of your energy. The Four of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Three of Swords. You've had to fight a long fight to feel stable on your own enough to step outside of the hurt, but the hurt still sits there and lingers. You guys are dealing with something in regards to some past pain that really is trying to be worked on at this time, and you could be hiding that emotional energy, trying to avoid dealing with that emotional energy, but the mind is kind of what keeps bringing it back to the surface. But it's like, here, you know you have to look at this. Here, you know you have to examine this. But emotionally, it's like, I feel stable enough. I don't need to put in more. You're going to have to balance out your emotions so that you're not continuously starting just enough to get going and then hitting the pause button again. It's the need to stay on task. It's the need to see something to completion. This ask for help, guidance from Spirit. The Two of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Cups. And even though that Queen of Cups is there, I heard Father. Coming in from the other side, Cancer, you could have a male, a masculine coming in with a lot of loving energy. And you may have learned from that masculine energy how to protect your emotions. Like they could have been the one that you look to, or the one that you resemble in this waking life, on how to handle your emotions. You may be getting signs, symbols, and synchronicities from the other side in relation to this person. Spirit just gave me the numbers 234, so 234. Any combination, they're also saying of those numbers, because it will be different for you guys. But they're trying to help you birth something new. They're trying to help you nurture your emotions. They are on the other side supporting your emotional change. This energy that I see with this King and Queen of Cups, like I said, somebody coming in for you, and I think that's where this is coming from, is from the other side, you know, in the spirit realm. Additional messages for Cancer here, Spirit. The Hierophant, the Four of Cups, the Seven of Swords. Cancer, whatever it is that you're kind of trying to hide from, distract yourself from, have fun, step outside of, it's almost like you're putting up a really good front to the world that everything on the outside is just fine, dandy, hunky-dory. But it's like you can hide that maybe in the 3D world, but you can't hide it from spirit. You can't even hide it from yourself. Like, you know, even if you don't want to acknowledge it, you know. And it's like that 7 of Swords is, it's whatever this is for you in regards to the need to heal. You can run all you want to. You can keep yourself busy and distracted all that you want to. But spirit is not going to let you ignore it forever, right? Like, it's going to keep coming in and keep coming up to the surface, whether it's by thoughts or emotions or experiences, so that you can move on from this. It's a place and a time to heal. The 3rd week or the 30th of December is going to be very important for this healing. Healing comes out with healing as the advice. Continue your path forward, Cancer. You're almost there. Centaurus, healing, its constellation, the number 10, endings, new beginnings, healing, clarifying, healing. You have done, and it's like they're saying to you, like, you have done so much in regards to this healing of your mind. Like, whatever, I'm going to give you the words they're giving me. Know that I'm not no scientific brain guru, okay? The neurons that had been damaged during a particular experience, like the brain matter or something to that effect, is healing. The way that the brain is being triggered, the way that your thoughts are being triggered, is being healed. But they're also saying that taking time for you is going to be the thing that helps to create this transformation. And as your mind continues to heal, your emotions are going to get triggered because they now need healing too. It's getting that heart and that head on the same wavelength. You know, you think about it. Like, if you leave a relationship, you're usually mentally and emotionally checked out of it before you physically leave. I feel like with this situation, depending on how it played out for you, there was the physical leave, the mental leave, and now the emotional is coming in. And that's where you're getting hung up, is dealing with the emotional exit of a situation. So continue the healing process. It's kind of like everything went ass backwards for you guys when it comes to a separation of something here. Keep moving forward. It's like, you know, you look at those 3 different things: the physical, the mind, and then the emotional aspect of it. You got through the physical exit. You're halfway through the mind, and then you've just got the emotions to deal with, which can be probably the heaviest thing. It's like putting it off to the back burner, the last thing we want to address. But it needs to be addressed, but you're halfway there. So keep going, keep healing. What is the advice for this fresh start, Spirit, for Cancer? I'm going to leave that sit there because of where it fell. It sat there for a second and thought, I'm like, nope, I'm going to leave it there. Fresh start. Exhilaration and the hunt. I talked about, confidence, by the way. I talked about, like, you could have been running on that adrenaline for so long. That exhilaration, right? That's like a massive energy burst from within the body that we feel like, woo, right? Like this dog is like reaching for everything. That's where this, again, those false starts are kind of coming in at, because it's like once you get it set in your sights, you've got enough energy within you, enough charge within you. You're willing to take a bite out of it, but the problem is you're coming up short, because it's like you need to stay consistent. You think about a hunter, like a good hunter is going to stay the course the entire time until he comes home with the prize. Otherwise, his family doesn't eat, right? You go deer hunt. If you're a deer hunter, you know, it's that season right now. You don't make that kill, you don't eat. And that's kind of like whatever it is that you're getting into, whatever it is you're working on, you're going to have to stay the course regardless of what it is that comes up for you. Because without that, like, how are you going to eat? Compare it to that, right? Like, if I don't go make that dollar, how am I going to feed my family? If I don't go out and kill that deer, how am I going to feed my family? It's that kind of mentality of like, I have to see this through to the end. And I feel like in Spirit just said, like, this is also about you seeing yourself through to the end, you being your own best friend, you being your own companion through the space of healing. You have to stay the course. Dynamism, I'm hearing it for the second time now, under Spirit's guidance. This is why it's coming up short, and they're trying to show you this. Whoever it is that is on the other side that's coming in for you is trying to show you why this is falling short. There may be a sense of denial around this, Cancer. This is the second time I've seen the Courage card. They're trying to encourage you to have that courage, to have that willpower, to move forward. And look at this, consistency. You've got to keep forging forward. You've got to keep going and moving forward on the path. So you have the divine guidance, you have the divine assistance, and if you feel like you're coming up short, ask for help. Don't be afraid to get like a mentor or a therapist or somebody to help you push through what this is that's going on, because it's like you're letting past triggers or situations come up and play an effect on how it is that you're moving forward. Yes, you start off hot and smoking heavy, right? But then that fire is fizzling out as soon as it gets started. You have to, you have to stay the course is what they're giving me. You have to. All right, Cancer, I'm going to leave this reading there. If you guys found this video resonated for you, like, share, subscribe, comment. If you're interested in personal readings, that information can be found in the description box below, as well as the about section of the page. And then, let me know what you guys think of these readings. I just thought it would be a little bit something different. I wasn't able to get the weeklies out in time because of the holiday and stuff. So let me know how you feel about these readings. If you thumbs up, thumbs down, something. So then that way, if this is something maybe we can do quarterly or not. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. But I'm wishing you guys the very best. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon.